gonna get out on here tonight, but definitely shout out to my night owls. And then people will catch the replay anyway. But I know it's real late. But I didn't want to let any more time go by without giving my sentiments and condolences to brother Malcolm Jamal Warner. I'm gonna just go ahead and go into the content this time and just talk. If some comments come in and all that, I will reply to them a little bit, and then if a lot start flooding in, then I'll get to them at the end of the live or whatever. But I'm on the road, just taking a break so I could get these sentiments to Malcolm Jamal Warner, his family, and kind of talk about what he meant to me, what he meant to the African American community, what he meant to young boys growing up in the 80s and 90s, seeing him on the Cosby show, and seeing him have his own show in high school on UPN and all that good stuff, man. It was kind of sad. It didn't really hit me. I found out that he had passed on Monday, but it didn't really hit me until I saw brother O'Shea Duke Jackson's tribute that he did. I see his videos a lot, and he give a lot of good advice to the African American community, male community, definitely in a funny way. Actually, he give a lot of good advice. But this video, he was just paying tribute to Malcolm Jamal Warner. Thank you for joining. And in that video, that's when it hit me. That's when I got emotional. You know what I'm saying? Because he meant so much to us. He was such a great inspiration. And to be honest, looking back on it, watching the Cosby show growing up, he had to be the reason why I started acting or wanted to act or had the desire to act. So when Cosby show started coming on, I think I might have been like 5 years old or something like that. Hi, Chad Roberts. Hi, Lucas. Hi, hello, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for joining me tonight. I had to be like, shout out to all my night owls. I hadn't given my sentiments to Malcolm Jamal Warner yet, and I wanted to go ahead and speak on him a little bit and what he meant to me and what he meant to so many of us. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Henry H. Is that my uncle, Henry H? No, my uncle named Henry Warner. Hi, Colton Johnson. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Lucas. Okay. Yeah, that's... Hello. Thank y'all for joining. I'm doing a Malcolm Jamal Warner tribute right now. Just want to talk about him. Talk about, in the comments, put some of your favorite memories about Malcolm Jamal Warner down in the comments, and I'll read them when I get done doing the live. Hey, bro, can you donate me your old laptop for study purpose, please? Currently, I don't have an old one. Chad Roberts said hi. Said hi. Chandler Christopherson said hi. Hello. Saying hello to everybody. Thank y'all for coming in. In 3 days, I'm going to the beach. That's what's up, man. I know that's going to be fun, especially since it's so hot right now in the summertime. But be careful, man, because I'm going to get back into the content and I'm going to read all the comments. Y'all can keep the comments coming in, and I'm going to read all the comments that I didn't read when I get done talking about Malcolm Jamal Warner. But yeah, you said the beach, and that's how he passed away. Actually, I was watching CNN or some other news. I think it was CNN on YouTube, and they said that he passed on the coast of Costa Rica. Matter of fact, I don't know. I think it sounded like he was surfing, and like a big riptide took him under. They were able to save, I believe, his daughter, but they weren't able to save him, and that's how he passed. He was only 54 years old, and that's hitting home, man. So I think he was about 13 years older than me. But like I was saying, a lot of us grew up watching him on the Cosby show. And I'm gonna definitely get to everybody's comments. He was a great inspiration. He was the reason why I wanted to act coming up. And like I said in the comments, put down your favorite memories of Malcolm Jamal Warner. If your favorite show of his wasn't the Cosby Show. I know for a lot of us it was the Cosby Show, but he did a lot of other shows that he was on, Malcolm and Eddie, and I think by then I was in high school when that came out. But of course, the Cosby Show, I mean, that was legendary. He said he had so many legendary episodes on the Cosby Show. Man, but he was a good brother, and the way they drew the character arc of Theo Huxtable, and actually he was a lot like his character he was playing, Theo Huxtable, in real life. Theo started out as like a kind of a troubled youth. He was getting in trouble in school in the first few episodes of the Cosby Show. We go way back to like the 80s episodes. Remember the episode where he had got an earring and he kept leaning back so his dad couldn't see it, but his dad knew he had got the earring. I think one of his sisters had told on him or something like that. And he had either pierced it himself or got one of his friends to pierce it himself. And that was one of the funniest episodes early on, because he kept leaning back and Bill Cosby was leaning back, and then finally he caught him. And then of course another funny one was that Garden Gartrell episode, and I got that picture in my thumbnail, that Garden Gartrell shirt. Now that mug was funny when he bought the shirt and it cost too much, and then Denise said she could make it, and then he came out with all that. Thank y'all for joining. I'm gonna read everybody's comments when I get done giving my tribute and talking about Malcolm Jamal Warner. But I'm gonna read y'all's memories of him as well, if some of y'all put some memories of him in his shows and things that he did down below as well. That was funny when he did the Garden Gartrell shirt. That had to be one of the funniest episodes. Man, y'all remember Bill Cosby? He said, Theo, when he would give him all them lectures and stuff like that. So this was when he was real young, but as he got older, he started dating Justine, which was Myra. Rest in peace to her as well. She was on Family Matters, but the first show she was on, I don't know if that was the first show, but before she was on Family Matters, she was on the Cosby Show and played Malcolm Jamal Warner's girlfriend, Justine. I remember the episode where Bill Cosby, he had lost her. She had broke up with him, and then he had to sing to her, and his dad was talking about, well, he did it. He was talking about Justine. His dad was talking about, you got to beg for her back. Justine. No. He was feeling it in his soul and all that. That was a good episode. They was really going for it on that. They wasn't holding back at all. Them 80s and 90s sitcoms, man, they were legendary. And he was legendary on those 80s and 90s sitcoms as well. Then we saw him grow up. You saw him go to prom. I saw him go, and that made me want to go to prom when I got older. But like I said, he was like 13 years older than me, so I was in elementary school watching him go to prom with his friends and all that. And then seeing him go to college, seeing him graduate from college on that show. He ended up going to NYU. He didn't go to Hillman, but he ended up going to NYU, and he graduated from NYU near the end. He was working at the youth center, working with troubled youth. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Theo Huxtable ended up being a college professor, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me if I'm right in the comments if y'all remember him being a college professor. So that character arc that they drew of Theo Huxtable, that Malcolm Jamal Warner got to play, was beautiful, and it was because the Cosby Show and the Huxtable family was such a positive role model for the black community growing up. They gave us something that we could see. All of our parents might have not been together. Like, my parents got divorced when I was 5, but we got to see a 2-parent household raising a black son, a black family raising a black son or whatever. And the mom was a lawyer, the dad was OBGYN, was a doctor, and then he ended up growing up from a troubled youth all the way to college and be a college professor. They gave us all something to aspire to as we was growing up, and a lot of us followed that same path and wanted to go to college and all that. Wanted to make sure we made it through high school. Wanted to make sure that we helped underprivileged youth, because we saw Theo Huxtable doing that. And that was beautiful, man. I did the same thing. I ended up teaching underprivileged youth at Title I schools music for 12 years, taught high school band 3 years, taught elementary music for 9 years, all in Title I schools. And I think that was because of watching the Cosby Show and seeing Theo Huxtable do that. Like he planted that seed. Seeing Malcolm Jamal Warner be that positive role model growing up as a child actor and all that really motivated me and a lot of other people to want to be actors and be positive role models in the black community coming up. Like I said, I'm gonna read everybody's comments. So if you can come back and watch the replay, if you came in, left a comment, come back and watch it, and you'll see me read your comment or comment on whatever you're saying. My wife sleep back where she is. I'm out of town, but she ain't here to moderate, so hopefully nobody's saying nothing crazy. But if they are, I can't do nothing about it right now because I can't moderate and do the live or whatever. Yeah, I'm on the road, but like I said, I didn't want to take any more time and not give my sentiments to Malcolm Jamal Warner, man, because and then I was so happy when he ended up, the Cosby Show went off maybe in 92 or so. I think it was out for like 10 years, 9 years. It had a long run. And then he came out with that show, Malcolm and Eddie, when I'm like a 80s baby, so I was in high school when Malcolm and Eddie came out. And that was a great show as well. How many Malcolm and Eddie fans we got in the chat? Y'all remember Malcolm and Eddie? Oh, that was a real good show. And it was beautiful that he had his own flagship show, named after him. It only lasted 4 seasons, and it was on UPN, but it was a real good show. It was a real good show. I really enjoyed it. Put in the comments if you enjoyed Malcolm and Eddie. And I think them the only 2 shows I watched with him on it, but he was on a lot of different shows here recently. A few years back, he was on a show called The Resident, and I was hoping I would get to be on it with him, but that never happened because they was filming it in Atlanta, and y'all may know, those that follow me know that's where I currently stay or whatever. I didn't never watch The Resident, but I'm gonna go back and watch a lot of those shows and movies that Malcolm Jamal Warner was in. Man, I know this is a lot of night owls, man. I thought I'd be on here by myself, but a lot of people that came in and out. It's a lot of night owls. And I guess people from overseas, it's daytime where y'all at. But I appreciate y'all coming in. I appreciate y'all hitting the like button. I appreciate those that's commenting and all that good stuff. I'm going to read all of them before I get up off of here. Yeah, man, but we lost a gem. We thought we had a lot more time to see him in action on TV and in films and stuff like that, but we didn't. Another thing, a lot of people didn't know, and I didn't know this either till I saw Malcolm Jamal Warner's Breakfast Club interview that he actually won a Grammy. He wasn't just an actor, he was a spoken word artist. He was nominated for a Grammy for a spoken word album he did. He was also a stand-up bass player, like the stand-up bass that they have in the orchestra. He played that, but he played it in like a jazz way. He probably could play it with the bow as well. 9 times out of 10, he actually won a Grammy too before he was nominated for his solo spoken word Grammy. He won a collaborative Grammy with, the name of the song was Jesus People or Jesus something. I'm not exactly sure exactly what it is, but if you Google it, you'll be able to see what he won the Grammy for and the artist that he won the Grammy with. A lot of you been seeing the AI tributes to him, and then the AI tributes that they have showing Malcolm Jamal Warner's life and his biggest accomplishments. You see him getting that Grammy on stage, and I'm glad some people put that up because I had never actually seen Malcolm Jamal Warner get the Grammy. I didn't know he had got it, so that was cool to see. Man, it's deep that he done passed. But he was a great role model, man, for a lot of us coming up. Gave us something to aspire to, positive, as opposed to all the negativity that was in a lot of the TV and a lot of the film back in the late 80s and the early 90s, the way they were portraying African Americans. A lot of stuff still do portray African Americans in a negative light, but the Cosby Show and the characters that Malcolm Jamal Warner played were very positive characters, very realistic characters of how we can start out maybe as a troubled young man growing up in a household and then end up being successful. And people might hate on Bill Cosby, but I think he did that on purpose to show that could happen, that positivity happens in the black community, because it actually does. I grew up with a lot of people that were like that, Theo Huxley grew up in two-parent household. I didn't grow up in a two-parent household, but I did have both of my parents. I had my dad, I had my mom. They just weren't together, but they made sure that I was successful as well. And I appreciate y'all coming. I'm gonna read everything. I'm definitely gonna read everything. And I'm sure people asking us crazy putting they Malcolm Jamal Warner memories in there as well. Man, what else did he do? Oh, he was like the youngest Emmy Award nominated child actor, actually, at 14 back in the day. I'm sure there are some people that's been nominated younger now, but he was the first youngest child actor Emmy nominated. So that was he had a lot of major accomplishments, and he definitely was a great actor. Took it serious. Was for the culture. You know what I'm saying? Definitely for the culture. But yeah, man, just you will be missed. I don't know if his family gonna see this or nothing like that, but y'all definitely in our hearts. I'm praying for y'all and everybody, man. Just be a positive influence, be a positive role model. That's what he would have wanted us to do. Continue to be a positive influence and be a positive role model in honor of Malcolm Jamal Warner, because that's what he would have wanted us to do. That's what he was for us. So that's the greatest gift that we can give to him going forward in his passing. Man, we lost the gym. I can't wait till they're probably gonna make a film about him 9 times out of 10 eventually. You know, I just thought about that. I wish they would make films about people and give them their roses while they still living, but a lot of times they always make the films about them afterwards. So I look forward to seeing that film whenever it come out. You know, whenever they cast for it, or you know they're gonna make it, because he was a very special actor and activist, musician, all of the different things that he did. You know, it was great and special. So they definitely got to make a movie about him. Let me see. Let me read these comments. Let's see. Let me go up, because I had started reading some of the comments, but then I started going in and talking about Malcolm Jamal Warner. I read those. David 1988 says, "Stop yapping and get a job." Oh, I have several jobs. I have several jobs, David 1988. Mehutil UMC, can you tell anyone in this chat to give me a laptop and preparing for a government examination? I mean, if y'all want to give him a laptop, hit him up. You got one to give to him. Chad Roberts says, "Shut up, David. Don't be mean." Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Chad, for helping me out. No filter. What happened? Are you talking about what happened to Malcolm Jamal Warner? He died in a riptide on the coast of Costa Rica, I believe, on Sunday. And he drowned. Ellis L. Cass, you late. Oh, me? Yeah, I'm late with my tribute. I'm definitely late, and that's why I wanted to go ahead and do it, because I'm late. And I saw, what made me do it was I saw MTR, right when I was about to leave for the airport, I saw MTR's tribute pop up on YouTube. And I was like, man, I got that. Damn, it hit me right there. I was like, man, I got to do a tribute to Malcolm Jamal Warner, man, because he meant a lot to me. What happened? I had just said what happened. Lucas said I play Roblox. I am said, welcome everyone. Please like, share, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to watch more enjoyable content. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. And thank you for joining. And thank you for y'all that's came in and commented. I definitely appreciate y'all. Even the negative comments, you know, it give me something to read and something to respond to and all that. I ain't realized they had so many night owls. Like, I'm a night owl too. I always be up till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Some nights I'm up till the sunrise doing like eBay stuff and all that. Or most times it's eBay stuff. But anyway, but I'm up right now because I just got in town to where I got to work at. Minolin Saring. Hello, greetings you from India. How are you doing? Hello. No, I'm not from India. I'm in the United States. I'm just up late. But yeah, I figure there's a lot of people overseas that's up late as well. And the good thing I heard about YouTube, they're going to start like this voice transcription thing that makes it where you can do it in your settings where you can set your transcriptions and your subtext for any country. But I think you got to do it from the computer, from the desktop or the laptop. So I'm gonna definitely set that up when I get time to, if it's already out or if it's not already out. When it comes out, I'm gonna set it up so that everybody around the world know what I'm saying and stuff. I don't know if it transcripts it when you're doing lives, but that'd be good if they do. I forgot to press the highlight. I pressed the highlight now. Jason Maxon said, hey, I'm just going over everybody's comments right now that I didn't go over earlier, just in case. Jackson Maxon says, I am new. Welcome, Jackson Maxon. Thank you for coming to the channel today. Hopefully you come again. Please like, comment, hit the notification bell so you know whenever I'm doing any videos. I'll say what my channel is about when I get to the end, because I don't feel like it's appropriate to be saying that right now when we trying to honor Malcolm Jamal Warner. But I say it at the end before I get off what my channel is about and stuff like that. Right now it's about y'all and Malcolm Jamal Warner and everybody that, you know, might have something to say about him. And I want to make sure I read if somebody else has something to say or a tribute about Malcolm Jamal Warner in the comments. Luan Del Pino said, hi from Cuba. I just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Man, I want to go to Cuba. That's a place that's on my list to travel to, but in the United States, they always be, well, they don't always be on. You know, our president be like blocking it. I don't know if it's blocked right now where we can't go, but I would like to go there one day. Definitely. Christina Harris says, hello. Hello, Christina Harris. JDub511 says, thumbs up to you too. Definitely. I'm not sure what I said, but maybe you're saying that to what I was saying about Malcolm Jamal Warner. Bane, Martin Luther reincarnated. Definitely. Malcolm Jamal Warner was like Martin Luther King reincarnated. Or anybody you want to think of. Langston Hughes, he said his dad used to have him. Well, his dad went to Lincoln University, which is an HBCU, and I believe it's in St. Louis. And his dad really made sure that he knew about African-American history and knew his roots. His dad used to make him read books like the biography of Malcolm X. I forget the name of that book, because I actually read that book when I was in elementary school too, like Malcolm Jamal Warner did, but my dad didn't make me write no book report on it. He said his dad made him write book reports on all of those African-American books that he would read back when he was in elementary school and stuff. That's tough, but that's why he was such an eccentric and positive influence and positive role model and good brother, you know, because he knew where he came from and he wanted to see the black community thrive positively. Mike A says, I ain't gonna read that, that's inappropriate. Bane says, can I see your living quarters? I'm not at home right now, so one day I might do like a cribs or whatever, but not today. El Cruzado, I stopped because I'm tired and I'm on the road actually, and I wanted to go ahead and do this live to honor Malcolm Jamal Warner right now before I continue on the road. El Cruzado, the nerdy Cuba Gooding Jr. Who, Malcolm Jamal Warner? Or me? Who are you talking about? Which one? That's still a compliment regardless. Malcolm Jamal Warner, I mean, Cuba Gooding Jr. is a great actor as well, and I act too. Alberto Loreno says, you have been reported to the IRS for not reporting your donations, GG. What? Okay, if you say so. I do my taxes and report everything. El Cruzado, I loved him. Hell Warner, definitely. I love Malcolm Jamal Warner too, man. We gonna miss him. Definitely gonna miss him. I want to go back and watch all of his movies that I never saw, all of his TV shows that I never saw. And luckily with streaming platforms now, we can pull them up pretty easily and watch them and stuff. You know, just binge them and, you know, see the greatness that was Malcolm Jamal Warner. He still lives on in our memories and in our hearts. I can't read that. What language is that? It's like a foreign language. It looked like it might be German, maybe. I can't tell. Or Czechoslovakian. It says go collab. I'm not sure if that's a Czechoslovakian may not be a language, but it looks, I'm not sure what the language is. It looks like a European language though. It says go collab. Sorry, I can't read your name. El Cruzado, him and Uncle Mr. Cosby, till Mr. Cosby went Buki. Bill Cosby was tripping, man. But we still can go back and enjoy the shows that he made, the positive shows. I mean, he was tripping with stuff what he did. I definitely don't condone it that he was doing all that while he was putting out all that them positive shows. But those shows were still a good influence to us coming up. Not even just the black community, because a lot of white people, a lot of Hispanic people watch the Cosby Show too. Matter of fact, a lot of people got their start on the Cosby Show. Adam Sandler, he got his start on the Cosby Show. If you go back and watch those old episodes of the Cosby Show and those old episodes of A Different World, you'll see how many actors and actresses that are big name now that actually got their start on the Cosby Show and on A Different World. I went back and watched it maybe like in 2017 or so, and I saw a lot of the different actors and actresses that got their start on there. Angela Bassett, a lot of y'all don't know, Angela Bassett started out on the Cosby Show as well, and I don't even think she might not have no line. She might have been background. She was on the episode where they was on an airplane about to go somewhere. They was flying somewhere. You know how big of an actress Angela Bassett is. So a lot of people got their start on that show. Bane says, I'm Native American, but I'm black from waist down. Okay. Yeah, a lot of black people got Native American in them. I got Native American in me as well. El Cruzado, well, X came out, then that was good. X came out. The movie. I might have said something that I'm catching up on the comments right now. El Cruzado, yeah, I like Warner's character. Yeah, Theo Huxtable was great. And then on Malcolm and Eddie, where he kind of played a version of himself, but it wasn't himself. I forgot what the character's Malcolm name was, but the show was named after him. He played a great character on there as well. El Cruzado says, yeah, I like Warner's character. Character as a person or characters on the shows? Which one? Both of them were great though. El Cruzado said he was cool. Skinner got that CC's pizza emoji. CC's pizza got a whole bunch of different options now. Y'all notice that? They got a whole bunch of different options they didn't have before. It's wild. Like I remember when they only had that $6 pizza. Now they went up like, I think the cheapest one like $8 or something like that. And then they got all these different desserts and stuff. But Skinner said 2025 says Dr. Huxtable. El Cruzado says Mrs. Huxtable was my mom. Yeah, Claire Huxtable was great too. And Felicia Rashad, that's her name. She still do a lot of good stuff as well. She always be popping up on various shows. I know she was on Empire, which was one of my favorite shows a few years back. She had a whole bunch of good movies that came out. And she from Houston, Texas, like I am. So shout out to the H. Her sister Debbie Allen's from Houston, Texas too. Debbie Allen was the director on A Different World, which was a spinoff from the Cosby Show. That was a great show too. That's the reason why I went to HBCU, because Hillman was a fictional college that Denise Huxtable went to, and then they kept it going. I also went back and watched that show on Amazon Prime too a few years back when I was living in Vegas to catch up. And yeah, that's why I went to HBCU. So the shows that he put out had a positive influence, and I'm glad Malcolm Jamal Warner was a part of that. I think Malcolm Jamal Warner actually went up there to visit. He was on an episode or two of A Different World as well, where he went up there to visit his sister Denise Huxtable on campus at Hillman. Y'all remember that episode or those episodes when he went up there and he was trying to act like he was older and stuff like that? Y'all remember that? Put in the comments. Y'all remember them episodes? It's just so many great memories of him on both of them shows, really. Levi Lily says, I literally have no internet. Please help me. How you on right now on your phone? El Cruzado says Bane. El Cruzado says ditto riff. That's what's up. Peter Miraji says, hey, darling. Hello. El Cruzado says, we got to recognize and deal with the reality, though. El Cruzado says the Huxtables, positive role models. Definitely. They were a positive role model, positive family, to aspire to. Skinner 2025 said message retract. I'm not sure what he said. C Cherry 706 says stop giving them your energy about Malcolm Jamal Warner. Why? No, I'm gonna give my energy because I want to honor Malcolm Jamal Warner. C Cherry 706 says have plenty of jobs, home goods. Uh, oh no, I'm not reading that. I don't know what they trying to say there. C Cherry 706 said he meant to lie to you. He probably wouldn't even give you $1 if you needed it. He was still a positive role model though. C Cherry is being negative about Malcolm Jamal Warner apparently, but it don't matter. He still did enough. The positive role model that he was helped me grow up to be a success. It takes a community to raise, people. And a lot of us watched a lot of TV growing up, and the positive influence that he had and seeing that caused me to be able to aspire to various things where I could get the education I needed to get and wanted to work with underprivileged youth as well, like I saw him doing, and be positive in my community and be able to make money and be productive as opposed to the negative, the opposite of that, going to jail and being on drugs and being in gangs and stuff like that. So he ain't gotta give me $1, but he was still a positive influence. That's worth way more than money a lot of times. Wally, okay, I ain't reading that. My wife ain't in here to moderate. Some people saying crazy stuff. C Share 706 says he's making this thing whatever y'all want it to be, for he can give you talking about nothing basically. If my wife was in here, she would have kicked you out by now. But Steam just went from 13 to 5. I ain't worried about that. I'm going to keep on talking. People going to keep coming in and out. It's all good. Shabbat Shalom said, this guy looks like a criminal. I look like a criminal. Okay. I've played criminals acting, but I'm not a criminal at all. I've never been to jail. I've never broken the law or anything like that. Just like traffic, speeding or something like that. But I ain't go to jail for that. That's the only way I've ever broken the law. But I'm not a criminal. I'm an actor. I've played criminals before, but I'm not a criminal. KC My says low pitch. What state are you in? Currently I'm on the road. I'm in Minnesota right now. Wally, message retracted. C Cherry, you going to go back and watch all his movies and shows? Zero, you give Elite all your energy, huh? Nah, he was a great actor, so that's why I'm gonna go back and watch him so I can learn from him and learn from his actor choices and things like that. And honor him. That's a way to honor people. That's a way people grieve sometimes. Like when artists die, a lot of times. Michael Jackson died, we listened to a lot of his music. When Prince died, we listened to a lot of his music and watched music videos. Like same we did with Michael Jackson. And we, that's what we do a lot of times. So with him, he did have some music. I would like to go back and hear some of his spoken word pieces, his spoken word album. And yeah, I'm gonna go watch his movies and TV shows, definitely. KC Mize Low Pitch says, why Shabbat? Why does he look like a criminal? Devil says, hey buddy, what's up? Oh, what's up? That name is a trip. Westbound, but welcome. Thank you for coming. Westbound and down. I swear this guy looks like the artist depiction of the guy that was going around asking to get that from Munda Cheese. I ain't reading that. I think that's inappropriate. I don't know what it means, but it seemed like it might not be appropriate for kids or appropriate for, we not kids on here, but appropriate for me to read. Because I like to keep it positive and clean on my channel. That's how I like to keep it. So if I say I'm about to read something crazy, I'm going to start reading. C Chair 706, don't forget Alicia Keys was bouncing on Bill Cosby knee on the Cosby show. That was Alicia Keys? For real? I remember that episode. I didn't realize that was Alicia Keys. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That was a good episode too. Matter of fact, I know you might be trying to be funny and be negative, but actually that was a good episode and a funny episode and stuff like that. Don't think nothing perverted about it or nothing like that, because it wasn't nothing perverted or whatever. This is a good episode. Kids having fun and stuff like that. Rudy Huxtable. I think Rudy was a little bit older than me, but the one that's the same age as me is Raven Simone, his niece. She the same age as me, but all of them inspired me to want to act as a child. David Flores, what's your favorite color of the alphabet? True or false? Color. There's no color in the alphabet. I don't know what you're talking about. C Cherry 706. Wonder what they had to do to get on the Cosby Show. He didn't do. There was no rumor. None of the Cosby kids came out and said he did anything to them. That stuff he was doing was, he wasn't doing that to them. So we ain't gonna get into that. But this is a tribute to Malcolm Jamal Warner and remember his legacy and honoring him. That's what this is about. There's been no conspiracies that's came out about Malcolm Jamal Warner or any crazy negative stuff. He's just been a positive, upstanding guy, a positive role model. We talking about Malcolm Jamal Warner. We're not really talking about Bill Cosby. Although we talking about his shows, because you can't really talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner without talking about Bill Cosby, because that's where he got his start. But we focused on Malcolm Jamal Warner today. Jesus Christ, I'm here to die and bleed on the mic, get crucified and come back to life. Hallelujah. How you doing now that you're... All right, I'm not reading that. Yeah, I'm not reading that. That's inappropriate. C-Chairs, HBCU, look up the real history of that scam. All right, you about to get kicked out of here. You sure about to get kicked out. C-Share 706 talking about HBCUs. That's where I draw the line right there. That's where I draw the line. I'm about to take a... All right, they saying some drug stuff. We ain't doing that. You understand? You got to do something to get on these shows and have a squeaky image. Nah, you don't. Not all of them. Not all of them. I feel what you're saying, my boy. C-Chair said television. So now you saying some good stuff. You feel what I'm saying? But some stuff you saying crazy stuff. Some of these shows, yeah, they do, and it's sad that we're finding out that some child actors, some of the stuff they had to go through and all that kind of stuff, and even stuff that adults are going through to get on various shows and stuff like that. Really, you got a choice, though. You have a choice. You don't have to do that. You can get on stuff, especially now. But even back then, you have a choice if you're going to do that kind of stuff or not. You don't have to do it. And another opportunity is going to come. What God has for you is for you. And God is not going to have you do anything compromising to get his blessings. If it came to you that way, it's not God's blessing. That's just what it is. So, I mean, people did. That's their problem. But them Cosby kids didn't do nothing inappropriate to get on the show or nothing like that. That's crazy. Willa Dodd, me, T-Cherry, tell your... we're not reading that. My wife's asleep because it's like 2:56 a.m. in the United States right now. So you are an actor. It all makes sense now. Yes, I'm an actor, but I haven't done anything crazy. I've been on certain things, but I haven't got my big break role yet. But I've had speaking roles in commercials and various things like that, indie films and all that kind of stuff. Troy King says, hey, Norbit. That's another movie I need to watch. Why you trying to be funny? I had that on my list too, but I ain't watched it yet. Was Malcolm Jamal Warner in Norbit? Unlucky says $100 if you hit the chorus of CeeLo Green Crazy, or if not doing that right now. I can sing, but that's out of my range. That stuff out of my range. And I don't have super chats yet, so ain't no way you can give it to me. Fishy said hi. Troy King said joking. About the singing, oh, I ain't tripping over that. I got a sense of humor, so I ain't tripping. Hello, stay blessed. You stay blessed too. I ain't tripping over that at all. I got a sense of humor. I don't take myself too seriously. Y'all that know me know I'm kind of goofy. Sometimes I do some goofy stuff, got some goofy videos up and have some fun with it. C-Cherry 706 said she was dressed up as a groom. Lady played me some oldies to always act like she was older than she was. I don't know what you're talking about. Unlucky says, given 2 minutes before the offer moves to the next streamer. Oh, you can move it to the next streamer because I'm not doing it. C-Cherry, Raven Simone used to act older than she was. She did. On the Cosby Show? Nah, she was like, if anything, she was acting younger, because when she first came on there, she came on there as like maybe a 3 or 4-year-old, maybe 3-year-old or something like that. And then she grew up on the show a little bit. So she wasn't acting older because I'm the same age as her. I think we were both born in '84. Let's see. Raven Simone used to act old. I read that one. Okay, if that's where you driving around, and I said everything. I is C Cherry was on. She said, if I say that and that makes you mad about the HBU, it must be true. Nah, it don't make me mad about it. Did you go to HBCU? Will says hi. Machiavelli Train says, he trying to be funny. I ain't reading that. C Cherry 706 says, but the crazy thing is, look up Bill Cosby's son passed and his TV son passed. Yeah, Bill Cosby's son passed a long time ago, I think. It's been years. But yeah, now Theo Huxtable, not Theo, Malcolm Jamal Warner passed. I kind of want to see what, I need to look on Google, see if Bill Cosby made a statement or whatever about Malcolm Jamal Warner passing. I'd like to see what him and Felicia Rashad said about his passing. I'm sure they have some beautiful words about him to share. Let's see. Bill Cosby's daughter passed. Look at all the co-stars. None of the co-star women passed, though. His daughter in real life passed. I didn't know that. I'm going to have to look into that. Will says hi. Hello, Will. Hello, Will. Will number 1, too, right now. He got number 1 on the thing. He might have been the first one to comment. Maybe that's how they do those rankings and stuff. I don't know how they do it. Captain of Starship. You must really like Star Trek. He says salvation, sanctification, and being sealed by the Spirit all happen within Jesus. The goal of a human is to remain in Jesus until the end. Thank you for spreading that positivity, that Christian positivity on the channel, Captain of a Starship. Definitely agree with you. Unknown VR, huh? Says, huh? I don't know what I said that you was questioning. Can you put that down there? I'll read it and try to say it correctly. Will was saying hi, and then he said something inappropriate, and he said hi again. Unlucky says, I ain't gonna cuss. Although it's in the Bible, and I would say it, but I don't feel like cussing right now. I only say the words in the Bible. I don't say the cuss words that's not in the Bible. He says, dang, didn't even realize there wasn't a way to donate yet. Respect regardless. Hope I catch you again, man. You cool as if. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm on. I should be monetized. Hopefully, I just need the watch hours. So I don't know how long it's gonna take. But hopefully by the end of the year, I will be. I already got the subscribers a long time ago. But I'm working on the watch hours. So, yeah. You could have tried, and I still would have given the 100, though. Bad or not. Much love. Keep being you, dog. Yeah, I would have. I don't know. I might have did it if I was. But I don't have super chats anyway, so it don't matter. It was going to sound bad, though, because that's way out of my range. I can sing a little bit, but not, not great. Funny thing, Malcolm Jamal Warner, he played the upright bass, and I'm a tuba player. You know what I'm saying? So we had a lot in common. Tuba player, that's a brass instrument, but it's still the bass instrument of the brass instruments and all that. I do spoken word as well. Malcolm Jamal Warner did spoken word. He yeah, a lot of different stuff, a lot of different similarities. Man, but I've come to the bottom of the comments. Anybody else got something to say, or any favorite episodes or memories of Malcolm Jamal Warner that they want to share before I get off of here? First, I don't think I said first off, all glory go to God, none to me tonight. But yeah, if nobody else say nothing, then I'm gonna roll out. But first, let me let y'all know my channel. But thank y'all for joining tonight. I'm Rifika. That's the acronym stand for Righteousness, Faith, Increase Abundantly. That's who the channel and what the channel was built off of. I am a Christian rap artist and an actor. I've written a book before as well called The Power of the DM, Free Online Dating Tips for Men. For those that need some game over there, that book's out. Look it up, look it up, and get it, read it, whatever. I've done a lot of stuff. So I'm a spoken word artist too, and the reason my channel's around is I share my artistry and all that stuff I do. But in the past few years, I became very passionate about teaching people that want to do their acting and their music full time how to do that and not have to have a full-time job, how to do it flexibly through flexible jobs. So I share some of those opportunities that I've learned from time to time so people can do them. Also sharing acting tips and stuff like that from time to time. That's what my last live was about on Sundays. I usually get on live every Sunday at 9 Eastern Standard Time or 9 Central Standard Time. I won't be getting on live this Sunday, so I just decided to do this surprise live tonight to honor Malcolm Jamal Warner because I wanted to pay my respects to him and his family and all the fans, all the mutual fans of Malcolm Jamal Warner. So sometimes I get on and do random lives and stuff like that as well. But I'm working on an album right now, so I'm putting out a lot of the social media music videos to promote. And y'all see a lot of stuff about my album coming out, as well as me doing different videos that you request by the comments that you leave, you know, different questions that are asked. That's why I did the one about the acting tips, because I did a live several weeks ago and people was asking me how to be an actor. They was interested in that, and I did that live. So that's up. Y'all can check it out if you're interested in being an actor. I gave all of the game that I know about getting into the acting industry, being a paid actor with no experience. I gave all that. That's on my channel. I didn't hold nothing back. So check that out if you want to be a actor, be a paid actor or whatever. But I'm all about sharing information that I've learned along the way, so it'll be easier for you to pursue your dreams and pursue your endeavors without having to have a full-time job in order to do that. Because I used to teach, and whenever I got an acting gig, I used to have to ask to be off, and I didn't really like having to do that. So I finally got I left, moved to Atlanta, and ended up leaving the teaching realm or whatever and getting flexible jobs so that whenever I get an acting gig, I can just do it and then come back and do one of my flexible jobs whenever I need to. That type of thing or whatever. So I'm not tied down to a job, because you got to be freed up, or else when you get gigs and stuff, you're going to have to miss out on some of them because you got to work, So you got to have that flexibility to be able to act and do, do artist stuff, singing, whether you rapping or you acting or you spoken word artist, whatever you doing, or you just want to start a business, whatever. You still need them flexible jobs to build it up and flexible streams of income. Let's see. Some more comments came in. The famous people in the world, hi. Oh, that's your name on here. That's wild. That's what's up. That's cool name. Ryan Clifton says, Rivka. What's up? What's up? What's up? Ryan Clifton says, R.I.P. to Malcolm Jamal Warner. Good brother. He was from Jersey. Sure was from Jersey. That's right. Thank you for sharing that he was from Jersey. I didn't even say where he was from. Yeah, he was from Jersey. Are you from Jersey, Clifton? Ryan Clifton, my partner, mom's is best friends with his pops. Wow, that's what's up. That's what's up. Did you ever meet him? Ryan Clifton, I'm gonna wait a while, see if Ryan Clifton say if he ever met Malcolm Jamal Warner, and then I'm gonna go ahead and roll on. But it's been good chopping it up with y'all, man. I appreciate y'all coming in tonight. Definitely, that's love. That's love, definitely. So we can chop it up about Malcolm Jamal Warner and our memories about him, our favorite shows we saw him in, and favorite episodes, and all that good stuff. There's a lot of good positivity, a lot of good shows, and luckily they all on streaming, and we can go back and watch them whenever we want to. Probably go on Apple Music and listen to his Grammy Award-winning song that he did with that other artist, and the Grammy-nominated spoken word album he did. I'm definitely gonna go back and listen to that, since I'm a spoken word artist too and a rapper too. I can use some of that inspiration while I'm writing my rhymes and stuff like that. My partner, Ryan Clifton said, born in Milwaukee, but moved to Jersey in '09. Okay, I never met him, man. Yeah, Jersey's a pretty cool place. I go out there sometimes. I go out. It's better to fly into Jersey when you go into New York, definitely, because the airport not as crowded as the New York airports. I will say that. Ryan Clifton says, about to sub, you like your energy. Oh, thank you. Definitely. Appreciate that. Appreciate the subs. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, sub. I'm always have good stuff coming out for y'all. I give y'all what y'all want. If you got any questions about things I do, I make sure that I craft a live around those questions that you have. My next live won't be this Sunday, but it'll be next Sunday. And I'll be talking about how to grow your social media, how to grow your YouTube channel, how to grow your subscribers through YouTube Shorts and through YouTube Lives. I'll be talking about that on my next live, and I believe that's gonna be August 3rd. I think that's the Sunday. It's either August 3rd or 4th, but that's the next time I'll be on live at 9 Eastern Standard Time. And based on the comments, that's how I decide what I'm gonna do lives on, and I round them up. Ryan Clifton says Newark. Yeah, that Newark airport. Yeah, that's a good airport to go into. But y'all be blessed. I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I done came down to the end of the comments. I appreciate y'all coming on. I give eBay tips if eBay is a flexible way I make a lot of money and still able to do my gigs when I want to. I do what else I do? I do simulated patient work, which means I'm an actor for the medical school. I ain't gonna say which medical school I'm an actor for, but that's flexible gig that you can do anywhere you at, because all the medical schools employ actors to act out various illnesses and clinical visits for their nursing students and their doctoral students and their physician assistant students. That's a way you can make money flexibly to be able to pursue your dream. You kind of gotta get a lot of different flexible streams of income coming in to be able to act, because a lot of times you may not get an acting gig or a singing gig or whatever for a while, and then you need to still have that income coming in to be able to pay your bills. A lot of actors end up, not getting any more work and not being on the show they was on no more, and then they have to go to a regular job. Like the cat on the Bernie Mac show, the son, he ended up working at Home Depot, and Waldo Geraldo Faldo from Family Matters, he ended up having to do it too, and there's many more that end up having to do that. So it's good to have the flexible streams income coming in. Gurab Dahlia says hi. Okay, they trying to be funny or racist or something like that. I ain't gonna read that. Yup. But with my wife on here on Sundays moderating and stuff like that, I won't have, she'll take all that crazy stuff out, and I won't have to worry about it. But I ain't kicked nobody out tonight. You know what I'm saying? I left everybody in, even when they were saying crazy stuff. I still left them in, and fed off of it, because it gave me something to talk about and something to comment too. But rest in peace, rest in love, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Condolences to your families. Definitely praying for the Holy Spirit to comfort them through this time of bereavement, and his children and his wife and all that, because that got to be tough. I just lost my dad 2 years ago in February, and I knew it was coming. They didn't know it was coming, so that's real hard, real tough for his children and his wife and stuff like that. So, but he left a legacy. He left a lot for us to honor and cherish and learn from. And generations coming up, but still better to go back and see the impact that Malcolm Jamal Warner left. All right, y'all be blessed, and always remember, only what you do for Christ will last, and the righteous in faith increase abundantly. See y'all next time.